Hello, gentle viewers. This is App Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26, the Chicago White Sox. A tip of the cap to old friend of the channel, Inset World 422, who says, I think Jim Edmonds needs to get veteran committee consideration if both Beltran and Jones got in. 1000%. Let's talk about Jim Edmonds. Now, way back when I first played my first baseball video game, well, not including like the Atari baseball game. High 2000 was the first one that I really dug really deeply into. This is a 60-win player. Let's pause right there. He's a 60-win player. Those don't grow on trees. And just for comparison's sake, by the way, Andrew Jones, 47. Carlos Beltran, 71. Beltran is better than Edmonds because of his stolen bases. That's what really breaks through between them, but Jim Edmonds was really freaking good. He won a bunch of Gold Gloves, so he's very good defensively. Some All-Star appearances, even got a Silver Slugger. I don't know why I didn't get more awards, but you will notice that he did have an issue. He started to get hurt. As many of us do as you grow older. And indeed, that was more common than not. And I think that's really what hurts his candidacy, even though I think he's a highly deserving center fielder. Nearly 2,000 hits, nearly 400 home runs, nearly 1,000 walks. Okay, he's missing some counting stats by a little bit. But tremendous on-base machine. Great defense, just wasn't the base stealer that Carlos Beltran was. And you get a lot of credit in WAR if you steal bases. But what I really find compelling about Jim Edmonds, someone who watched him play both in real life and somebody who watched him play in video games, is Jim Edmonds wasn't the fastest guy. He knew center field so incredibly well that he knew where to go. And he would anticipate to perfection in a way that I don't think I've seen in a center fielder since. Not the fastest guy in the room by any stretch of imagination. The 6'7" stolen bases over career might give you a hint about that. But that's super impressive. That's really, really impressive. That he knew where to go, he made the play, and he made it look easy. Even though obviously it was not easy. Love the idea of Edmonds in the Hall of Fame. Really love the idea of making it in. Definitely better than Andrew. A little bit worse than Beltran. He also doesn't have the postseason numbers, which I know that also hurts some people's consideration. But look at his postseason career. He had a few years with St. Louis where he was actually pretty good. But he never won a World Series because St. Louis didn't win a World Series in those days. But tremendous player, definite Hall of Famer for me. But then I raised the ante a little bit. And look. What happened? Oh, it's just looking at postseason. Yeah, that wasn't his fault. Kenny Lofton arguably also deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. His WAR looks a little bit worse because he played as long as he did, and he had some years that were kind of stinkers. But he did two things exceptionally well. He got on base and he stole bases. He was your prototypical leadoff guy. If he wasn't as good at base stealing as Carlos Beltran, it's not his fault. But almost 2,500 hits, nearly over 100 triples is pretty impressive too. Lots of stolen bases. Really, really great player. Really good. I think Kenny also deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If our standard is now that Andrew Jones is a definite Hall of Famer, then Kenny Lofton is a Hall of Famer. I believed that before, because he never hit a whole bunch of home runs. He looks a little bit worse in terms of WAR. And his career did tail off. And he also played an offense-rich era, which means he gets dinged a little bit for his OPS plus only being 10% better than league average. But still, the guy was nearly a 300 hitter, got on base at an incredible clip, stole lots of bases, and oh, by the way, was also pretty good defensively. Um, Not in the categories of Andrew or Carlos Beltran, and in fact, he's kind of the opposite of a Jim Edmonds. Because he used his incredible speed to be good at defense. He was a very, very fast player. I'm not saying it wasn't smart that he couldn't position himself, but he always seemed to me to be, I'm going to run that ball down, not, I'm going to make sure I don't have to run that hard. But tremendous player, I think a Hall of Famer as well. Beltran is better than both of them. Beltran also has big postseason numbers that you have to consider. And was an incredible volume-based dealer, but also a very skilled base dealer. But in my opinion, all four of them can go into the Hall of Fame. Whatever I said last episode about Andrew Jones as a person, his stats say he deserves to be there. 100%. Okay. Let's talk about what actually happened in the game last time, though. I bet you're like, wait a minute, I didn't even see Wednesday's video. What the hell are you talking about? Allow me to correct you. I guess correcting is the wrong word. Either way. In the last episode, we did some off-season stuff, and not a lot changed. We are starting the year with Murguia, although we did last year as well. This is basically last year's team, other than Edwin Peralta starting in center field. Peralta he's not there yet, but he is bordering on bust territory. He's got to really show something this year. He's got to hit for power. He's got to play great defense. He's got to be in a position to really make this team special. Because the normal everyday center fielder isn't available because you traded him. The rotation is much more new. This is partly due to injuries. We lost both Adam Wiley and Sato to injury. It's what's his first name? Oh, Kuniyasu. I was never gonna get that. Not in a million years. Yeah, Jeff Allen is a rookie. I guess he's technically not a rookie. He does have multiple appearances, but he is, for all intents and purposes, a rookie. Alex Alvarado, technically a rookie. And then Omar Andrade, who he picked up as a free agent, as someone to just give us a rotation option while Wiley and Sato heal. Bullpen is pretty similar to last year's. A lot of players are getting opportunities because of being out of options, like Alcala. Ledesma was one of our Rule 5 picks, somebody that we're going to have fill out the back of the bullpen. Mr. Luis Ponce is another rookie. So we have a lot of rookies being asked to carry a reasonably heavy load. Along with Nels, Lawman, Matan, DeLeon, and Vince Turner, who is another free agent for us here. We acquired him as a lefty killer. I think he'll do quite well with that job. So, lineup mostly the same. We basically benched Josh Cox after a fairly decent season just because we want Peralta to have a chance to show that he can be something special. At some point in the near future, we probably swap out Geronimo for Chilo. I think Chilo's probably a better shortstop or even a third baseman, but we can ride with this for right now. Yeah. I don't quite have. I'm a little bit too cowardly to make Danny Rios the leadoff guy, but that seems like an awfully good role for him at this point in his career. Because the base skills are still there, the base stealing's still there, but the home runs are starting to disappear. Is Danny Rios a Hall of Famer? No. Maybe if he plays another 5 to 10 years and can start stacking a few more stats, then maybe. But this version of him is just not it. He's just not a Hall of Famer. Through no fault of his own. He's been there for us, but he strikes out a whole lot, and he got hurt at the wrong times. Despite his raw power, only hit over 30 home runs a handful of times. Twice, in fact. Both of them in his early career. So, we'll see what happens, though. I feel pretty good about this team. We definitely have some people that need to come back and have big years, like Edwin Hernandez needs to figure out his shit. Because he's going to make the rest of the team work better. Herb Berry could also use a bit of a bounce back, although we can't really expect too much from Berry at this point, right? Herb Berry, I guess, wants to be traded if we want to trade him. That's good to know. I don't know why we just made the postseason last year. It's not like he wants to play for a contender, but let's just play some baseball at this point. Let's see what happens here. Jason Harrison has cleared waivers to the surprise of 0 people. Nice. There's probably a world soon here where we need to either trade Rios or Berry. But I kind of like keeping them both just because they've been so good for so long. Villarreal, I think, should probably be on the roster in some capacity. Villarreal is a much, much better bench bat than Cox is. And he can even play center. He's not great at it, though. But I do have Ryan Grammer who can play center. I'm going to try trading Josh Cox. I'm just going to throw out a little bit of a flyer here and see if anybody wants him and is willing to part with something interesting for him. He's coming off a fairly good year, so I kind of expect that there might be some people willing to part with good players here. Cody Powell is deeply interesting to me. He does everything well, but he doesn't do anything great. Not necessarily the kind of guy that I'm willing to jump on. But what if we got a package? I think a world in which Powell is the headliner for a package, I think is something I find a lot more palatable. Or we could just get Luis Gamboa. Luis Gamboa is a really good pitcher. Like, really, really good. I guess he is kind of stupid, though. Maybe we don't jump on that one, then. I could get Kyle Young. Kyle Young is a perfectly serviceable second baseman, but not the kind of guy you get terribly excited about. You really like Pontico Machuca, which, Jalen Howard's alright. Luke Barnes is pretty decent. He's kind of dumb and he's kind of expensive, but he's got some good tools here. Zachary Wilson is fine. He's not great, but he's fine. I guess these aren't terribly thrilling offers being made to me. Estevao Tatonio is not very good. Let's go back to the singletons. I just think I'd rather have one player that really fits my team rather than a bunch of them that don't. I can just do a build-a-bundle using Cody Powell, and I think that probably makes more sense to me. John Wolcott is interesting. Is he interesting enough? This really worries me. I do want more power in my system. I don't think that John Wolcott is the source of that power. Let's grab Mr. Powell here, and let's see if we can't grab another prospect. We could get a guy like Brandon Sturdivant. You have to. That's just the law. If you're not going to instantly take it, then I'm going to keep digging. Calzado's pretty good, but isn't helpful right now. Sergio Galvan is really, really interesting. Yeah, I don't want to fight. I just want a dude. Dean Chavez is not a center fielder. He's just a fairly good corner guy. Jose Baez. He's got big time power. There's very little risk. Oh, yes, there is. He has no options left, which means I'm going to have to instantly waive him and probably lose him. That's the trick. Ulrich Matson doesn't really interest me. Corey Uguedo I like quite a bit. Let's see if we can grab him. Okay, great. That was easy. Estevan Carrera is somebody I'm kind of excited about too. I'm kind of hyped about what he could bring to the table. But you want more than that, and I'm not willing to give you more. Like, whatever we trade is what I'm willing to trade. Gene Taylor, the rare shortstop, is actually a left fielder. He's not a terrible choice. I just think it's funny that the game is like, but what if we made him a dude? I like Brian Williams quite a lot. I think this package really interests me, and I think we do it. Unless we can grab ourselves, like, a unique player. Manny Garcia is kind of fun. Let's see if we can grab Manny Garcia. Okay. This is fine. We get some pretty decent players. Josh Cox is not likely to disrupt the universe. And more importantly, this makes room for other players. Brian Williams, you can be on the 40-man, but you're going to go to AAA. I mean, that trade for a very particular reason. To add Villarreal. That's correct. I think actually I'm going to go ahead and shift it in this direction. I don't mind letting people have a bit more frequency. Let some younger players get a few more reps here and there. We're a little bit playing without a net, but Ryan Grammer is good enough that if Peralta completely shat the bed, I think we could probably make it a thing. Monteleone is now throwing harder. Niels is getting better. Josh Heath is getting a lot better. He's going to be a special reliever if he keeps up the good work. Willie Vasquez is getting better. We want to keep an eye on him because he could be our future at catcher, although he still has a long ways to go, for sure. David Foster's Australian for catcher. Some good stuff here toward the back. 3 bombs in a game for Carlos Geronimo is pretty exciting. I'm pretty jazzed about that. Let's keep it going. If we lose to the Royals now, and like we can't lose in the World Series. If we lose like in the ALCS or something because I gave them Josh Cox, I'll just stop trading. Doesn't seem really likely to happen, but you never know. Okay, Omar Andrade's been pretty miserable. If he'll take a demotion, I'll keep him around. If he won't, then I'll just release him. Actually, let's trade him. Somebody might want to give me something for him, right? It's not impossible. Somebody's like, wow, what a guy. Give him to me, please. Okay, I guess it was impossible. I'm going to waive him, and I'm going to see if anybody is stupid enough to claim him off of waivers. And then we'll just slide Sato back in and give him his rotation spot back. Excuse me. Justin Rice is doing good in the minors. That's kind of fun. Andrade easily cleared waivers. If you're not going to take an emotion, I'm just going to cut. I'm just going to release you. That's going to cost you a little bit of money, but I have the money to spend. Like, we're sitting on $10 million, so I think that's not a big deal. I remember that we got 2 cycles in one game, which would be genuinely bananas. Adam Wiley's going to be back in 5 days. That's pretty exciting. It's really exciting, actually. Picard getting better at his age is kind of exciting, actually. Alex Gonzalez's overall rating dips a tiny bit for some reason. I don't know why. Evan Peralta is getting worse, but he's getting worse in terms of potential, which isn't the end of the world. How we doing, guys? What does our roster look like in May? Herberry looks like trash. He may be cooked if he can't get off to a warmer start. He is getting on base, but the rest of his offensive skill set seems to have almost entirely vanished, which is a little bit disappointing. Zarn, Hernandez, Murguia, and Rios all look really good. Edwin Peralta's not that bad. Auto doesn't look particularly compelling as a player, but I think we just need to let him get there. He is stealing well. He is playing center field well, so that's pretty decent. Harrington looks brilliant. Madrid is here to play good defense. Although, apparently he's also not playing good defense this year. Yeah, curious. My bro, you've got one calling card. You better figure this out awful quick. Because if you can't play stellar defense, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble in terms of your lineup spot. Interesting. Rotation looks great other than Jeff Allen, who is struggling a little bit. He's just getting hit. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. He's getting hit. He's giving up walks. He's getting clobbered. All the things pitchers are not supposed to do are happening to him. Sergio De Leon is off to a really weird start. I'm wondering if maybe he's just... It's not even luckiness. He's walking people and he's giving up home runs. Still pretty early in the season, but that is a little bit concerning. For certain. We're just going to let this ride for a little bit longer. Peralta's had, 145 appearances? Let's just ride. What are we looking at for salaries? Anybody we need to keep? Not especially. If I need to make money, I can try trading her Barry. Is that a thing I'm willing to do? Geronimo could play third. Chilo plays second, or Chilo plays third. I bet Chilo pick up third pretty quickly. I've got some other interesting infield possibilities here. We have Willie Hidalgo, who we traded for at the deadline last year. That could be pretty good. Hugo Gonzalez. We have Danny Ramirez. None of these guys are obviously a Herb Berry, but I know Herb Berry isn't Herb Berry either. So there probably comes a point in the season where we just say thank you for being a great White Sox, but we're moving on without you. We'll see though. Um, in my opinion, Herb Berry's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think the game will ever vote him in because so much of his value comes from drawing walks. He's got a good bit of power though, and he steals bases pretty well, so maybe he'll get some attention. But I think Herb Berry's probably our first genuine Hall of Famer. We'll let it run for another month, and then we'll make some decisions if we can. Danny Rose is going to miss 5 weeks. That's a little stinky. But not the end of the world. I think this is the perfect time to try Willis Hidalgo in the major leagues. Because the boy can thump. He can real thump. Closer with Pete Magnuson, but I kind of like the idea of at least giving Hidalgo an extended trial period. We could also... Do I want to give Sam Friels an opportunity? Probably. At some point. Oh, we could actually play Villarreal and then let Murguia DH. He's a pretty bad outfielder, so maybe that's the answer that I'm looking for. You know what? I think I like it better, and then Hidalgo can just come off the bench. So yeah. Murguia, you're the DH now. Villarreal, you're starting in right field. But not as the number 5 hitter. I think I'd rather bump up maybe Geronimo for that honor because of his good power this season so far. All right. I mean, I do want Rios to return at some point, but I think if we can keep up the momentum while he's hurt, that'll put him in a better position to be helpful in the postseason, maybe. Adam Wiley's ready to come back. Jeff Allen is badly struggling, so I think as a team we'll be infinitely better if Jeff Allen goes back to the minors and keeps working on his shit. Somehow Adam Wiley returns. But I think I'm going to be the 5th starter. I don't think it matters where he starts. It just matters that he starts. So let's advance to the start of June. Is there a point in which we trade Herb Berry? I think the hardest thing is going to be people aren't going to want him because he's so expensive. I know that trading him would solve a lot of money woes, but I just don't think people are going to want to pay anywhere near what he should be paid, or what I should get paid for him. Alvarado's going to be back immediately, which is pretty exciting. Brian Niels is getting even better. Did Gonzalez peak too early? Maybe. Alvarado's looking better, though. Mike Cole's getting better. Mike Cole looks really good. If Mike Cole's control improves just a skosh, he might be starting in the majors in very short order. Building on potential is great, but I'd like to see actual, genuine skill, not just potential. All right. Okay, Abel Zarn completely vanishing as a hitter is really concerning to me. Herb Berry is rapidly bottoming out as well. Hmm. Edwin Hernandez is having a great season. That's good that somebody is. Pitching staff looks really good. A lot of the guys that are struggling have worked out some of their issues, but this is big oof at the top of the lineup. That's gigantic oof. I just don't know, guys. I don't know what to do about Barry. I could move him down the lineup, but honestly, we're scoring runs despite him. Like, we're second in the league in runs scored, so I don't think changing the lineup is all that important to me. You know? Is there a more reliable leadoff guy in the lineup right now? Not really. Villarreal could be that guy, but he's got a hit, which he currently is not doing at all. Evan Peralta's almost league average, and I know that's like, wow, who gives a shit, but he's handling center field well. He's stealing bases when he gets the opportunity. He's playing well. I just wish he was playing better. Harrington looks pretty good. Madrid is really becoming problematic. His bat is almost the same as last season. It's the fact that his defense is cratered that really concerns me. Last season, he was worth almost 2 wins on defense. This season, he is worth barely nothing, barely anything at all. As much as like Alex Madrid, I think we've got a load of captains anyway, and he's clearly not capable of being an everyday shortstop. Herb Berry has years of performance to earn the benefit of the doubt. Abel Zarn has years of performance to earn the benefit of the doubt. Alex Madrid does not. I'm not going to trade him, but I am going to pick somebody else to play shortstop. Maybe. Oh, Danny Ramirez is actually a second baseman. That's right. He's not really a shortstop. Banuelos? Yeah. Oh, it could be Chilo, right? We could definitely put Chilo at shortstop. And Chilo's actually hitting this year. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swap Madrid and I'm going to swap Chilo, and we're going to see how this works for us for the rest of the season. I could also bump Carlos Gonzalez back to shortstop. Now, Chilo's not a perfect shortstop. The air proneness is slightly concerning, but he's got a great arm and really good range. So I think we're going to be in decent shape as long as he hits. I need to carry a new infielder because Hidalgo only plays first base. How has he been doing as our pinch hitter? He's been struggling pretty badly. Okay, well. Let's give it a bit of time and see how things change up now. And then we can address appropriately what's happening here. There's really Edwin Hernandez, Murguia, Geronimo, and surprisingly Peralta that are carrying this lineup. That's really scary to me. Really scary. We've got to get more consistency throughout the lineup. Oh, now you really want me to win? I mean, I want to win too. Look, there's 100% a universe where this all works out beautifully and we enjoy a World Series championship. Danny Rios coming back is genuinely huge. Rios is having an okay season. And Villarreal is not. He's okay. Here's your problem. You're a guy that's supposed to hit for a good average and isn't hitting for a good average. If you're hitting in 300, then you're a great player, but you're not hitting 300. You're hitting like shit. It makes it really hard for me just by keeping you on the team, my friend. Very difficult. I'm going to send down Hidalgo. And we're just going to put Murguia back in right field. As painful as it is, because we need Danny Rios. Excuse me. Danny Rios leadoff hitter is unironically one way to solve our lineup problem. You know what? Fuck it. Let's try it. Let's try it. I guess I shouldn't punish Barry too much. He is still drawing walks at least, but that's all he's doing. AI, go ahead and fill out my scouting people. And then let's blow through the month of June. There goes Raul Ramirez. Okay. I want consistency. That's what I want. I want a consistent lineup that drives in runs. They don't have to drive in all the runs, but they have to drive in some of the runs. Barry's going to be back right away. All right. Sights are my friend. I think I need a new hitting coach. I think you're not getting to the players anymore. I know we keep scoring lots of runs, but I question your ability to develop my hitters. So I think we're going to say goodbye to you. I think conversely, we've done a great job developing pitchers. So Julio DePaula, you're in. You have to stick around a while longer, but we are going to let Cameron Seitzer walk. And I am going to go ahead and bring back Francisco Flores because why not? Two coaches want to be sweet talked. Okay. Algany Mateo is actually pretty good. I know you probably just want a better job than you're getting, but I can at least give you more money. You actually took less money. Alright. Danny Berg is a real good hitting coach. We're definitely keeping him. But yeah, it's not that we're hitting poorly. It's that players aren't developing when they hit the major leagues. And that's on him. That is very much on him. Luis Hidalgo get 3 home runs the moment he returned to the minor leagues. Okay, fine. Do I have anybody? Do I have a decent farm system? It's top 10. That's pretty good. It's the Jerkoff ski. You're crushing double A, my dude. Maybe we need to push up to triple A already. Let's try it out. Losing James Harrington unironically sucks. He's been one of our better hitters. Who's next man up to catch? Is it really Willie Vasquez? Are we willing to do that already? It doesn't hurt to let him catch at the major league level. I know he's only 20. He's too much of a risk. I don't want to. I don't want him to like be completely useless. Let's add Aaron Winning as our backup. Plus, he'll help us win. It's in his name, literally. And then Sean Reed, you can be the starting catcher while what's his face retires or recovers is the word I was looking for. I've got to rebuild the depth chart. Okay. I'm not playing Winning that often. I know that is his name, and that it would help us win, but I don't think so, guys. We need to be playing Murguia as often as possible. He's one of my most consistent hitters. And just because we think Villarreal might be salvageable doesn't mean that I hurt the team's current efforts. Although he is struggling a bit more now. He's becoming overexposed, I think. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, do not understand how this team scores runs. Like, every player is having a bad year. Except for Edwin Hernandez and, like, a couple of other players having decent years. When Peralta's getting faster, that's fun. I don't know how helpful it is, but it's fun. Edwin Peralta got Player of the Week. He's got 17 home runs already. That's pretty impressive, actually. Edwin Peralta is low-key a success story on this franchise. Alex Alvarado looks pretty good. Yeah, it's like, I don't sell this lineup as fourth or runs scored. I truly don't. I mean, I have some guys that are having good seasons, but by and large, I mean, I guess Ambroise Chilo looks really impressive. Carlos Geronimo was putting in the work. Does Herb Berry slide even farther in the lineup, do we think? Do I maybe let him drop and swap him with Peralta? No, I don't think so. I think we can just leave the lineup as it is right now. There's not an obvious player that's a total black hole other than Herb Berry, and I still can't see clear to benching him. But I guess you can make him a utility guy, but I still think he offers us some value. So we're just gonna hope for the best, I think. And then maybe think about the off-season and see what we might be able to accomplish. How many All-Stars from the Sox of Whiteness? Alex Gonzalez better be one of them. He is. Timothy Lawman also made it. Edwin Hernandez made it as a backup. And nobody else from the offense? That's fine. Oh, Brian Nels made it. Good. So we had 3 pitchers and a hitter, which is completely reasonable, especially since Edwin Hernandez is the only guy that clearly deserves it. Very clearly deserves it. Wild. Any interesting prospects? Josh Heath. The Jerkov is up there. Not Nelson Ramirez. How dare you, game? How dare you commit such a vile crime against everything? Okay, low-key. Low-key. I would have said swap Neil Carlos for Lederhosen. How good is this guy? I think I'd rather have Lederhosen. Yeah. That's a fun word to say, but I don't think I would ever actually wear them. I would be so concerned like anything else that's like that, that you got to take a shit and you can't get your pants down in time. Could be. Not me, it's the dirty Cubs. All right. Wow, the top end of this is a very, very thin draft. Very thin. Okay. So we like Willie Sierra, do we? I don't have that much money, so I don't think I could commit $7 million to a prospect. So that's not going to happen. Neither is Mike Contreras. Jeff Carpenter might. What's Jeff Carpenter's deal? His deal is that he's a really good all-around outfielder. You son of a bitch, I'm in. Welcome aboard. We really like John Buster? Or John Butner? Interesting. You're a fascinating dude, but I'm really excited by that. I think you're a very good choice. You want me to draft Ben Mills? He's fine, but he's not a great catcher. I mean, I guess you could make him into a first baseman down the line, I suppose. Jared Gonzalez? No. Dave Whitson? Yeah, I think spending a fourth round pick on a reliever is worthwhile to me when he's that good. Let's make it happen. Plus, the nickname is Chow, which is a genuinely great nickname. Jared Gonzalez is fine. He's an okay catcher with an okay bat. I don't think he's worth what he's asking, though, and I'm not prepared to pay $1.6 million to find out necessarily. Especially if somebody that might be better. But maybe he's worth it. Maybe this is a worthwhile pursuit. Unless Mike Kalame is amazing, which he's quite good but not amazing. That's a problem. But is it a problem? I think I have to do it. I know he's got a very obvious flaw, but he's so young that if we really have him work at it, he might get to the point where he becomes a Rios replacement. Someone else took Jared Gonzalez. They're welcome to him. I definitely would like Roger Unger too, please. Two relievers is probably enough. What is Mario Alva's deal? His deal is that he's a pretty competent professional hitter. Let's add him to the club. Now let's start looking for traits. Give me the thump. Pete Nolan wants to be drafted. That's a lot of money that I probably can't afford. I'm gonna take Dustin Young instead. Oh, because he also wants money? That's rude. That's very rude. Let's get Matt with 1T Phillips. The pro wrestler? Probably not, given his age. Babbitt? Okay, Alan Decatur is pretty special as a hitter in a lot of ways. Let's grab him up. Decatur, I barely know her. Let's look at some pitching people now. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word pitcher. Pitching dudes. Salvador Asensio is really good. Yeah, it's kind of pricey, and he's not a perfect pitcher, but he's got 3 really nice pitches. Good stamina, a live arm, and good stuff and control. I'll take it. I will take it. Todd Campbell, can you learn control? Probably not, but we'll find out. No, we won't. Not this early in the draft. It's only the 11th round. Let me get Kent Lerma. I know his stamina isn't the best, but I guess he is also 20. Let's get Jeff Despain instead. Let's try it. Let's get some movement potential. Some home run rate potential, I think, is even better. Tim McGranagan? Let's do it. His pitches aren't that great, but he looks like he could be a really solid innings eater. That's got the potential to be a little bit more if he can improve his pitches. What's next? You want me to draft Mike Young? I'm not opposed to that. The control concerns me, but I think he's a good enough pitcher that he might figure it out. Damn it, Bobby. We can try this guy too. Big live arm. Has trouble throwing strikes. That's not a White Sox player. I don't know what is. Jim Ramirez is fine. He's not great. He's kind of dumb, but we're at the point in the draft where it doesn't really matter. Curtis Wheat. Why do we keep skipping Robert Anderson? I get he's not really a starter, but I think he's a competent reliever if given the opportunity. That's my take on it. Anyway, we got 4 more draft picks. You want me to grab Curtis Wheat pretty badly? Fine. We can grab Curtis Wheat. You want Ken Smith, huh? He's not terrible. I know we're not, like, praising these guys, but this is pretty late in the draft. We're just taking what we can get. Jonathan Cafaldi, you're in. And you want David Johnson? There you go. Northern Kentucky's own David Johnson is in the building. Now, will at some point the owner get stupid with me? Probably not. Yeah, I think I could have actually drafted some of the more expensive guys, but I still think we made the right choice here. Jeff Carpenter looks really nice. Like, he looks like a complete outfielder. Maybe not a brilliant defensive one, but really, really good. Don't sleep on John Buettner either. I think he's also excellent. And then we got a great college reliever in Dave Whitson, also known as Chow. Which is, I think we would all agree, a pretty solid nickname. Oh, James Harrington's ready to come back. That's really solid. Aaron Winning, please return to AAA where you can continue to be a baseball player. But this is James Harrington's team. He can hang out. I feel kind of bad for Alex Madrid. Is he picking up other positions, or is he just not playing anything but shortstop? Interesting. So somebody needs a break. Who's actually coming in? Are they just all breaking each other? All right. Real talk. We need to get another infielder on this roster. More than I need 6 outfielders. Sam Friels is doing pretty good off the bench. Villarreal is not. But he's also barely played. Grammer's my center fielder, so he gets to stay. I could actually bench Zarn if I wanted to. He's not that terrible, but he's not that good either. Hit me right in the Friels, bro. Do you want to try starting Friels over Zarn? Or do we just think this is a weird season and that he'll bounce back fairly quickly? Maybe he will. Maybe. Villarreal is not getting extended period of time at AAA. Let me demote him. And let's get... We think Cody Powell can play third. That's a bold move, Cotton. I want Tchaikovsky here to just get lots and lots of playing time in the minors before I call him up. I think Hugo Gonzalez is a perfectly fine choice to be the new reserve infielder. This way I don't have everybody covering for everybody, which means I don't have to worry about the injuries as much. Okay. I mean, we're a very effective team. We're winning games. You can't deny the fact that we're winning games. Chad Desso sucks. All the suck. It's Chance Livingston has been traded because of his comically overpowered salary. Like, holy shit, guys. Raul Barrera got a contract. He didn't pitch at all this year, so that's kind of wild to me. It's kind of crazy, yo. Ricardo, these are just bad players, right? Like, they're not even offering me players that I need to think about. Gabriel Green? Why are you on my list? Oh, I drafted you a long time ago. Finally made the major leagues. What did I trade you for? Oh, he just never went anywhere? I see. Noted. Trade proposal, Scott Cormier is pretty good. I don't really need pitching though. So I don't think this interests me. I'm not even saying I wouldn't trade Alex Madrid. I'm saying I'm not that interested in a pitcher when I've got a pretty solid pitching staff. The best in the league, some might say. Um, yeah. Dineros has settled in quite effectively at the top of the lineup. That's pretty exciting. Okay, Zarn is fixing his shit, so Zarn is getting closer to what we expected him to be, but he's still kind of far away from being a big-time dude. Edwin Peralta's got to hit higher in the lineup, right? Just so he can make more use of his home runs. Like, I guess he's doing alright. Maybe I don't fuck up a good thing here. I could move Barry even farther down the lineup, I guess. It's a Ukrainian guy. That's the Ukrainian if I've ever seen before. He Koronaki. But I'm not interested. I'm kind of interested in Julian Tassier. But I also kind of don't need him. Chris Davila's not very exciting. Alright, what do I want? What would really help this team shine? Oh, pardon me. Luis Ponce not being on the team probably would be smart. I can do that one. Oh, that's why. Hmm. Ponce is pretty bad actually. I wonder if I can trade him for a better reliever. I can get James Freeman, who's arguably worse. I guess I can look at veterans too, right? Like I might have to take on a little bit of salary here. Really? That's it? Okay. If I waive Ponce, he's instantly going to get claimed by somebody. I feel pretty strongly about that. It would probably be Jeff Allen that gets to return if this happened, and I think I'm fine with that. Alyssa already thinks he's trash. Only we think he's still got something to prove, so let's sneak him through waivers. And then Jeff Allen can be our emergency starter and let him get some innings in the major leagues some more. He hasn't been that great either, but at least he's had a good year in AAA, so he maybe learned something, and we can let him try to show that he can do that. All right. What do I actually want? What do I truly, factually desire? I'd like for Alcala not to suck. He never got the walks under control. I can't carry him on this bullpen. He's gonna fuck up at the wrong time. So I think a reliever is definitely in the cards. Could you just also promote Josh Heath, who's had a pretty good career. Let me go ahead and waive Alcala too, and let me promote Heath. No, let's not promote Heath yet. Let's see if I can give myself a reliable reliever. I think they'll be very useful to me. High quality relief pitcher. Surely there's going to be some that are available. Fernando Garcia's a pretty good hitter, but not what I'm into. Ryan Carfell is exactly the kind of guy I could get interested in. He's nothing flashy, but he's really solid and dependable, and that's exactly what I think we could use in this bullpen. I'm going to keep looking just in case, but I think that's a reasonable pick. Brian Reed's pretty good. I could get excited about Brian Reed potentially. Mike McKinnon is not that exciting. I like Brian Reed better than I like him. Billy Diaz is really, really good, but he's a lefty. I kind of don't want to invest that heavily in. Jordan Espinosa is looking for a new team. You look mighty solid as a White Sox, but also you would cost me a lot. Angel Salas. Ruben Rodriguez is fine, but not terribly thrilling. I don't like the fact his velocity is quite low. I think that's going to hurt his effectiveness as a reliever. Alex Rodriguez. I could get excited about you if you weren't so expensive. John Navarra, maybe. You're kind of injury prone, so there's definitely some risk there, but you're also a pretty competent pitcher. Didn't you pitch for me once already? No, I guess you didn't. Okay. I think his injury history means I'm not going to risk it for him. Huigon Park. You're incredibly expensive, and you're going to make that much money next year, too. This is ridiculous. That's not going to happen. Let's talk about Brian Reed. I think Brian Reed is a pretty good fit. Where'd he go? It's Nick Ambroso. How you doing, buddy? I could bring you back and make you into a reliever. But yeah, I think I can. I think I'm better suited to grab Brian Reed. I think he's the guy for me. It's Art Isbell, legendary White Sox utility infielder. Oh no, wait a minute. I had him in the Rocky series, didn't I? Or was it this series? Yeah, he was my dude. Yeah, I remember that right now. Didn't he? Where did Brian Reed go? Oh, sorry. It was there he is. Here's Brian Reed. All right, guys. What do you want for him? I can basically name my own price, which is pretty exciting. But if I were you, the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Madrid. Okay, Madrid, a shitty prospect happens. So let's give him what they want. An uninteresting prospect like Ryan Green. I was completely right about saying being Ryan. That's funny. Done. Brian Reed helps us quite a lot right now. And Madrid doesn't hurt us. And this also opens up a roster spot so I can add on. Oh, I forgot that he was a captain. I don't care. I've many captains. I have a plethora of captains, so we can captain the shit out of the captain stuff. So that's Brian Reed added to the bullpen. Now we need to get a new middle infielder. I feel like Danny Ramirez is a nice little bench bat, even if he doesn't have a very clear defensive position. So let's see how that works out. Is there anybody that I want to trade? Am I willing to even consider the offer of trading Herb Berry? Let's kick the tires, right? Let's see if anybody wants Herb Berry. All players, let's just see what's out there. Francisco Guerra is not worth it to me, and I don't need David Chi either. This would just be a pure salary dump, and I don't want it to be a pure salary dump. He's still a productive player. He's still useful to me. He's just not what he used to be, so I'm not going to trade him for nothing. And I think this is effectively nothing. Who might we trade? And this is still on this team for so long. It's legitimately bonkers. Nobody's gonna want Alcala, right? Like there's no actual value to him. Nobody's like, fuck yeah, Modelphi, I'll call the man who can't throw strikes. Shockingly, I'm getting offers here that I don't hate. I could pick up John Navarro too. Tempting, but I don't think so. Main shake him. Neat. I just don't have anything obvious that I actually want. I mean, I could try to dump some salary, but I don't know whose salary I would try to dump. Geronimo is going to get expensive now, and he rightfully so. I could trade Terry Matan, I guess, but also maybe not. He's actually been a pretty solid relief pitcher. Not a flawless one. He'll always struggle with walks, but he's been pretty good when he's not walking people, and that's useful to me. That has value. Timothy the Lawman, we could do something with maybe. I feel like I'm in too good a position to want to break up anyone on this team that isn't going to leave the team anyway. That's kind of where I am right now. So let's sim and see if we get anything like really exciting. If I flipped Alcala for a prospect, what does that look like? I probably won't even get a prospect offer. It's going to be wanting people to dump salary to take Alcala. You know what, Kevin Nolan? You're in. Welcome to the club. Alcala sucks. I don't want him anymore. I believe enough in Ponce that I do want to keep him on the roster just in case something crazy happens. Oh, you give me John Sin for Raul Escamilla. I am not totally opposed to this. I'm also just not that excited about it either. To be real with you. It's not nothing, but it's not something either. I guess it makes him marginal, but does he have option years? Or does he use all of his options? Oh, he's got all of his options left? Let's complete the trade then, I guess. Does he really? Oh, he's a Rule 5 pick. I should have paid attention to that. It's true. I guess I could send Jeff Allen back to the minors and then call him up once rosters expand. That's a possibility. Sure. Who actually has some stamina that isn't a starter already? Literally no one. Timothy Lawman kind of has some starter energy for him. Okay. You don't really need emergency starters come postseason time, though, because you have extra rotation people. Escamilla, I'm eager to see if you ever amount to anything. When roster expand, we can get Jeff Allen back. Or somebody else, potentially. Sorry, Madrid, you had one job, which is playing amazing defense, and you failed miserably at that job. And if you don't play amazing defense, you're not a very good player. So, sorry, but not sorry. Borgia's getting better at right field. That's kind of fun. He's getting worse at power, which is less fun. Willie Vasquez isn't far from getting. I just need him to play a little bit more so that the risk drops. The Jerkovsky is getting better. Amazing. Poor guy. You got to imagine that he got all kinds of shit growing up. He always still gets shit since, baseball professional athletes in general tend to be kind of immature and like the same kind of like fart jokes and stuff that teenage boys do. Ponce easily cleared, which probably doesn't bode well for his actual utility as a human being. I mean, baseball player. Maybe he's wonderful. Maybe he's not even a real person. I don't actually know at this point. I don't remember how many draft classes they got, but I think we're probably past it. We're in the hunt for the number one seed. Oh, Danny Rios is. It's a strained groin. You're a DH. What if you just dealt with it? Jay Horner's injured again. Classic Jay Horner energy. Yeah, if we're able to get a little bit of a hot streak here, also, do note Kansas City, just like I said, is now second in the AL Central, and they're nipping at my heels. It better not be fucking Jeff Cox. I swear to God, he better not have turned into an MVP candidate with them again. Or I would be very sad. Incredibly sad. I would weep 1,000 tears. Yeah. Is it time for me to weep 1,000 tears? How good is he doing? Shortest. What are my socks? All batters. Oh, of course he is. Josh Cox is like, what if I just turned into an MVP candidate? What a jerk. Haha. I mean, I can't really be too upset about it. I got what I wanted out of it, which is a reliable player, so. Jeff Allen, I'd like you to be the emergency starter for the rest of the year. Should we need one? And everyone else, I think, can kind of hang out. I guess Willie Sadolga could come up and be an interesting bat off the bench. That could be something I could get excited about. I just want Hidalgo to get an actual chance to hit a little bit here and there. I think that would be pretty appropriate. He can DH if Rios can't go for whatever reason. Because I need me a big thumper, and he's a big thumper. I need a person capable of hitting baseball so hard that they go forward in time and score runs in games that haven't even started yet. That's what I'm looking for. A 93 win season could be a 94 run season. Edwin Peralta hit 3 home runs this season. Man, bro's hitting 208, but still hit 26 home runs and played good defense, so he looks like he's a lot better than he actually is. I'll still take it. Justin Rice had an insane year in Double A this year, like truly living his best life. Truly, truly. All right, guys. So we are 93 and 68. Does this game actually matter? If I win, I get the second seed. That's very, very important to me. If I lose and Texas wins, do I still get the second seed? How did I do against the Rangers this year? Not so great. I struggled against the Rangers this year. So if I win, if I lose and Texas wins, they get the number 2 seed. So just win. No, we lost. That's fine. Maybe Texas also lost. They did also lose. Thanks, Texas. Great job. Really happy for us. I could keep Hidalgo on the roster. I kind of want Friels to make the roster. I think he's had a really good season. And I don't need to carry Jeff Allen on the roster, so I'm going to remove him and I'm going to add Friels. Because I think he's been really useful for us off the bench, and I would like him to have the opportunity. Odini Ramirez makes the roster. I'm fine with that. I've had 2112 by Rush in my head because I listened to it in the car this morning when I was heading out to work. So that's how that happens. Let's just enjoy the show. Let's complete the first round of the playoffs. We can rest up a bit. Hopefully jump in facing... Okay, let's set the rotation now. This is quite important. Wiley comes out of the pen. This is known. The question is, what about... Who's the third starter? Is it Sato or is it Alvarado? I feel like Alvarado's been the hot hand this season, but I also think he's been insanely good because he's been lucky. I think you have to go with the guy with the track record and put Sato in the rotation, but should he make it into the next round, then Alvarado will be the fourth starter. 100%. Let's go, guys. Wow, you beat up Alex Gonzalez. That's really sad. Picar, help. Good job. Sato, help. Oh no. Alex Gonzalez, please. Damn it! I mean, it wasn't even his fault, but still. Why do we just stop hitting once the postseason starts? What is it about this fucking franchise? Danny Rios looked great. Her Barry was acceptable, but it just seems like once the postseason starts, we stop hitting, which is really unfortunate because I think this would have been a good year for us to go deep. I mean, really, what happens? Alex Gonzalez failed us twice. The best pitcher in the league was not there when the postseason started. Likely your second, likely back-to-back Cy Young winner, and still not quite there. Sad, very sad. We lost a 12-inning game, but still. That's a bummer. That is really sad that we weren't able to bring it home this season, but it's fine. But it's not really fine, but it's fine. I mean, the Tigers just swept the Braves in the World Series, so that happened. That was a really disappointing end of the season. But then again, like, this was not your typical season. Not even a little bit. This is a season in which it was just weird. It was just weird. Like, I can't even describe how weird it is. It's just weird. Alright, Vince Turner. Vince Turner was a pretty handy guy to have. I think we can bring him back. Do we keep Adam Wiley? I don't think so. I think Adam Wiley had a pretty bad year, mostly because he was injured. I recognize that. It's between Picard or Wiley. I definitely keep Picard because Picard's been really good. Ocho wouldn't lead the league in walks every year, but he pitches. Maybe he wasn't that great either. Maybe we just rip off the Band-Aid and let them both go. Right? Like Mike Cole can definitely fill the Picard role of guy with low control that pitches well anyways. I can always get a veteran starting pitcher if I need one. I've got guys like Ugueto and Parker and Andrade who are all reasonably good. I think this might be. Oh, I just realized my scouting director retired. We'll have to fix that. I'm gonna let them both walk. Am I? I'm letting Wiley walk. You are officially a former Sock. If you're willing to come back for like a lesser amount of money, I would consider it, but you're not. Picard had a pretty good year. But he's always going to be this guy that walks so many hitters that it's going to be difficult to trust him. If I opt out of your contract, would you take less money? Probably not, but we can ask. No, you just want an extension at your current rate, which I'm not prepared to pay. We now have good loyalty because we've been consistent. That's exciting. Oh, Sergio Santos retired. Wait, then what happened to my scouting director? Oh, did I just not scroll up all the way? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Fine. Alright. So let's break down how the season went, and then we'll save the coach talk for next episode. How did we do offensively? Did we get the contributions we really wanted? No, we didn't. In a world in which Carlos Geronimo, who was a very good player, don't get me wrong, is your best contributor on offense, that is deeply troubling. Deeply, deeply troubling. I can also the fact that Edwin Hernandez had a good start to the season and then just didn't get any better. He's already over 2 wins while the All-Star break and then just didn't improve. Chilo looks like a possible star. She looks like the kind of guy that we can possibly trust. He had a really good season. Offensively, it was fine. Herb Berry was still worth 2 wins. Think about that. This was unquestionably his worst full season in the major leagues, and he was still worth 2 wins. So maybe he'll have a little bit of a bounce back year. Edwin Peralta was surprisingly good. I still need a lot more out of this. A lot more. A 206 batting average is not going to cut the mustard, but I appreciate what he gave us, and I think there's room for him to get even better. Murguia, I mean, he is man hit home run, and that's his entire job description, and he hit home run this year, so fine. Ryan Grammer low-key needs more playing time. Sam Friels needs more playing time, potentially. Abel Zarn was probably the single most disappointing player on this roster because he did nothing right this year. I mean, this is a guy who's had a pretty positive career, and then just went, maybe you better hitting coach will get more out of guys like Barry and Zarn, because yikes is the way I would describe it. Denny Rose is being useful. He is helping. But we're reaching the point in his career where his career is not likely to last too much longer. It's honestly the fact that I have a better option that's obvious to me that the reason he still has a job at this point. Pitching. Can you say 2-time Cy Young winner? I know you can. Alex Alvarado was incredible this season. This is an amazing rookie season. He kept the ball down. He didn't give up the home runs. Didn't walk people. Wasn't great striking up. That wasn't really his job. He might win Rookie of the Year, and I think he deserves it. We've had a lot of luck developing great pitching talent, so that's why I don't mind passing on Picard and Wiley. Brian Nils was an amazing closer. He's going to cost me a lot of money, but he's going to be worth it. Sato had an identical year from his past year. He's still overpaid versus what he's actually giving me, but that's not unheard of. Lawman had a good season. Really good seasons from a lot of key players, so I'm pretty happy about that. Am I going to offer either of you guys a qualifying offer? Absolutely not. That would be the height of foolishness to give them qualifying, because they're going to take it, right? They're going to accept the qualifying offer. I'm going to find myself in an unpleasant time. Any other really good players? You are very, very good, Justin Rice. We can give you a minor league extension if you want it. Yeah. What this does is it gives me the time to start setting up my arbitration people without losing an excessive amount. This lets me turn the rotation over. And I think giving guys like Jeff Allen another shot, giving guys like Mike Cole a chance, I think there's a lot to be gained out of turning over the rotation a little bit more. There's always veteran starting pitchers that we could highlight. Willie Vasquez is... I need to break through this development risk nexus, but he is getting to the point where he's almost impossible to not play in the majors, which is a good feeling. The Jerkovsky looks like he could be a winner. Villarreal, bro, you gotta figure out how to hit this year. Like, this is your last year in the majors for me. If you cannot figure out how to hit for fucking average, like you did in your first season, then we have a problem. We have a big problem. Herb Berry would take a trade. I am tempted to make the trade, rip the Band-Aid off, and go into the season with a much younger roster. We can let Jerkovsky. If Jerkovsky has a good spring training, and he will be in spring training for me, I will very, very strongly consider letting him go. Very strongly. Alejandro Hernandez is fine, but not exciting. We could talk about this stuff next episode for sure. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it ended in a disappointing fashion, but we've got a really good thing going here. And I think if we can keep building on our success, if we keep making the right personnel moves, and not getting enamored with players that don't deserve it, I think we're going to see a really big season next year, potentially. Until next time, my friends, this has been Abguardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.